Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is the weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. January the 20th, Saturday, is Camcorder Day, Day of Acceptance, International Sweatpants Day, National Butter Crunch Day, National Cheese Lovers Day, National Black Coffee Day. I'm sorry, take that back. National Coffee Break Day. I don't know where I got the other thing from. National Disc Jockey Day. Oh, hey, we could be a disc jockey today, Heidi. Penguin Awareness Day and Take a Walk Outdoors Day. What a weird time of year to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Sunday, January 21st, Grandma's Day, International Playdate Day, International Sweatpants Day. Wait a minute. So National Sweatpants Day is Sunday? No, international. It's listed both days. I don't know which day it is now. Granola Bar Day, National Hugging Day, One-Liner Day, so if you got any good jokes, and Squirrel Appreciation Day. All of those things happening this weekend and much, much more. I've got this list from listofnationaldays.com. Holy cow, they got a lot of stuff on there. Going to be visiting with Brad Smotherman today. He has a real estate investing program that it absolutely fascinated me. I saw it online. I'm like, I'm going to talk to him.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll get all the right answers, but we're going to ask him how this works because there's some interesting stuff. We'll chat with him all about it coming up.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. So, how'd you sleep last night? Not good? Kind of figured, because according to a new survey, the average person gets what they call a perfect night's sleep only 132 times a year.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people.
Yeah. 2,000 adults in the U.S. found the average 120 good nights sleep, 132 times that are perfect night. Unfortunately, that leaves 113 nights that are not good. They're bad, actually. Staying awake all night sometimes. Why? Recent stats show the average American going to bed feeling stressed or anxious about 3 days a week. What are the most common methods to help drift off? 44% have tried reading, 42% drank warm milk, 37% took CBD products, 27% used melatonin, only 28% found the method they used to even be very effective.
Right.
We listen to audio at night.
I will say I have been sleeping a whole lot better.
Me too. We listen to the sounds of waves crashing. I recorded it myself on a beach, and we listen to it all the time, and I fall asleep so much faster now.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
I'll figure out a way to get that shared for people that want to hear it. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know the days of BlackBerry being the smartphone are long gone? But that doesn't mean you can't experience the comfort of clicking its physical keyboard when you use your iPhone. A new case, which debuted last week at the Consumer Electronics Show, actually connects its keyboard to your iPhone to give that classic BlackBerry feel. It's called Clicks. It was developed by a team of people who previously worked at a major tech brand like Apple, BlackBerry, and Google, so a whole bunch of different people that came together. But that Click doesn't come cheap. It's $139 for a phone case that has a built-in keyboard that somehow magically connects to your phone. So.
Or you could just get a BlackBerry again.
Yeah, I think maybe if you really wanted that. I had one back in the day, but I'm glad that I don't have a what do I have? It's not an iPhone. What's mine called?
Samsung.
There
Galaxy.
we go.
Yep.
My brain quit working for a second there. My smartphone is so disappointed in me right now. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Keanu Reeves has a new career. He has announced that he has co-written his first novel. The John Wick actor appeared on Good Morning America recently to talk about this book that he worked with an award-winning author, China Myville. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but the book is called The Book of Elsewhere. It's set in the world of Berserker. I don't even know how you say any of this. It's going to be available in July. It will be published, rather, in July. I don't
Who
know if
doesn't love him?
I
How
think he
can
just
you
seems like a
not
neat
just
dude.
love that guy.
Yeah. And Lindsay Lohan doesn't think this Mean Girls joke is gruel. Is that bad? What does gruel mean?
I have no idea.
The actress, who starred as Katie Heron in the original 2004 film, recently attended the premiere of Mean Girls musical and, spoiler alert, made a cameo in the movie as well. So, anyway, that movie has done really, really, really well. I'm going to be visiting with somebody who wrote a book about this whole universe. I just got that scheduled, so I don't know, maybe it'll be next week sometime.
Am I the only one who just wishes they would come up with some original content?
Come
like
on,
new
Heidi.
things?
Come on, Heidi.
I must be, because
These are
they're
classics.
not willing to do it.
All right. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A dog saved a quiet Philadelphia neighborhood from exploding into flames just days before
Holy
Christmas.
cow.
I saw this online. There's a young lady that does like a good news channel on Facebook. She does these like 1 minute or 2 minute videos, and she's got a lot of really cool good news stories. And then I found the story, so that's what this is. Potentially disastrous gas leak detected underground by Kobe, a 4-year-old husky owned by Chantel Bell. She noticed Kobe was digging in the yard, and Kobe's not a digger.
Right.
She's like, that's really weird. Kobe never digs. And she noticed that he was over digging in the same spot. Well, December 21st, she reached out to the powers that be at the gas company because she thought she maybe smelled a little bit of gas. And they say if they hadn't come out there, the gas, there was a leak underground, and it could have like blown up the entire neighborhood.
Holy cow.
And they said it could have sparked from something as simple as a light switch.
Holy cow.
So yeah, this dog saved the day. And men are often accused of exaggerating cold symptoms. Let's just cut to the chase. We're wimps, is what they say. You think I'm a wimp when I get sick?
Yeah, sometimes.
I do not. Are you?
Yeah,
No,
kinda
I come to work when
whiny.
I'm sick. Well, I'm whiny, but I'm whiny all the time. According to an expert, men feel the effects of a cold or a flu differently than women do. Oh, that's what it is. Uh-huh. Dr. Eleanor Fish, a professor of immunology at the University of Toronto, points out that men and women have subtly different immune systems, which means that they do respond to infections differently. How so? For starters, research shows that males are more vulnerable to respiratory illness and more often hospitalized or even die from the flu. So she's saying, don't make fun of the fact that he's not feeling good because he could die from this. Mm-hmm. So she says females have a much more robust immune system, which means you ladies are way tougher than us men. That's pretty much what she said. She said that the differences may be hormone related. So there you go. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit with Brad Smotherman. We're going to talk about real estate investing. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be investing in other homes. It could be in a home that you're going to live in. A lot of people right now, Brad, because of the economy being a little bit weird, think, oh, is this a good time to invest in real estate? This is what you do for a living, and you're saying it's not such a bad time, really, is it?
It's really not. There's always going to be opportunities in the market as long as you know what to look for, and we're really, really happy with what we're seeing in the market right now.
And part of buying real estate is actually actually financing real estate. And as I was reading information on your page, you guys have financing options that are maybe a little less traditional than what most people think about.
Absolutely. So whenever I started in the business in 2010, I was 23 years old. I couldn't go to a bank and get another mortgage. They had just approved me for my own personal home. And then I said, hey, I'm going to do this real estate investing. I think you need to fund me with copious amounts of cash. And they said, well, Brad, will absolutely give you another mortgage as soon as you pay off the one that we just gave you. So it wasn't very helpful.
Yeah.
So we had to find another way to do things. And there are a lot of different ways that we can creatively structure transactions to where we're not actually the ones borrowing the money, but we're able to take down the asset. So there are ways that we can make this work, and this really high interest rate environment, 8.5% for some people, really makes this an attractive option.
And for people who are interested in this, I'll share the website that I'm looking at right now, and I believe it's just your name, bradsmotherman.com.
Correct, and then we also have Investor Creator on iTunes and the various other platforms.
Very nice. So let's talk about a certain scenario. Let's say there's somebody living in an apartment or a townhouse, or maybe even living at home with mom and dad, but they've never owned a home before. Is this a decent time for them to start thinking about buying their first home?
Well, I think it's one of those things that you have to decide first if you're willing to be in a place for 5 years. If you're not willing to be somewhere for 5 years, I think that you're taking on more really market risk than what you should short term. In other words, if you think you're going to be transferred for a job or you're looking to move in a couple of years, the market may be flat or maybe even a little bit declined at that point. And so you really have to make that determination first. But then secondly, it comes down to, are you willing to sacrifice what you really want to get a rate that you really like? It's really tough to find a great deal on something that's a perfect home for you. But if you're willing to really sacrifice a little bit in terms of an amenity or condition, a little bit, that kind of thing, to get a really great rate, then you can. So just today, we're buying a condo in Alabama right outside of Huntsville that has a 2.75% interest rate. So we're turning this into a rental as an investment, but anytime we can get a 2.75% rate when the rates are 8, then that's pretty attractive.
So that's not the kind of rate you typically hear about right now. So is that common the way you're doing things, or is that kind of an uncommon rate to get right now?
Well, it really depends. I mean, we run a lot of marketing and we're good at what we do, so it's pretty easy for us. But for the person really starting, then it can be somewhat of a struggle. So what you need first is someone that is a motivated seller that needs to get rid of property. So this is not going to happen on your traditional sale where people have time, they would like to sell, but they don't have to sell. We need people that have to sell property. And so that's really the first step, is identifying those people. And then also, secondly, understanding the deal structure that can be done to where you can efficiently and effectively tell a seller with 100% honesty, this is what's going to happen in the transaction, and work it to where the title company, the closing attorneys that you work with are understanding the transaction as well and can put the paperwork together. But it is certainly a viable option, and these kinds of transactions are done every day.
Very cool. Now, that probably sparked some interest from a few people, because I'm listening right now going, well, that sounds very interesting to me. If somebody else listening is thinking, how in the world do I learn more about this? What would be the very first step? Not necessarily in buying, but at least learning more. What would you say is the very first step?
Yeah, I think first identify what the goal is. So everybody has a different goal and everybody has a different starting point. And so I think really recognizing what you hope to accomplish. But then secondly, really learn and research, and there's various ways that you can do that, me being one of them, but I'm certainly not the only place to learn about real estate investment. So YouTube and researching subject to investing, owner financing, that kind of thing is going to be valuable to people, and really decide what people want and go after it.
Very nice. If somebody would like to reach out to you with questions, what's the very best way to get in touch with you, Brad?
Yeah, so people can go to my website, bradsmotherman.com, or brad@bradsmotherman.com.
Easy enough. Brad@bradsmotherman.com. Brad, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it a bunch.
I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, Brad Smotherman. We've been talking about real estate investing. His website, bradsmotherman.com. I've got a link to it as well in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the United States, prison inmates cannot vote, but they can run for office.
I knew that.
That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can't vote, but you can run for office. So you can't really campaign either. So, and even if you could, you can't get out of your cell. So like everybody around you you're campaigning to wouldn't be able to vote for you. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The can opener was invented 48 years after the can. How did they get in for 48 years?
I think we've talked about that. Isn't that weird?
That's very weird.
So bizarre.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
No matter how cold you get, gasoline will not freeze. So,
Oh, I
it's good
didn't
to
know that.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Our fingers get wrinkly in water because wrinkled fingers give us better grip on slippery objects underwater.
Oh.
Oh, so there's a reason for that. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The dark side of the moon is actually turquoise.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know how we know that, but apparently somebody went over and looked. That's probably why. Several fun facts. Now we know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. If you're average, you'll spend 2 months of your life doing this. What is it? We're way below average.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even know if we still own one of these.
I have no
Vacuuming.
idea.
Do we own a vacuum
yes,
cleaner?
we own a vacuum
Where is it?
cleaner.
I haven't seen a vacuum cleaner.
Just because I don't like to use it doesn't mean we don't own one.
I'm just saying, I haven't seen one. We have mainly wood floors now. And when I say wood, they're fake wood. But we use a little cleaner thing. But do we have a vacuum?
Yes, we do have a
Okay.
vacuum. Yes,
All right.
we do.
Well, I'll take your word for it. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Owners of a remote island are looking for 2 people that they'd like to pay them to live on this island over the summer. The only problem is you have to work the entire time. A stunningly picturesque Great Blasket Island, it's on the coast of Ireland, has a seal colony, endless ocean views, memorable scenery, and prehistoric sites. But the selected applicants won't be there to soak up the sun, even if there isn't a whole lot of sun, but rather to run the island, which welcomes scores of visitors during the warmer months. Duties include running the island cafe, hosting guests at 4 holiday cottages. No salary details, but the listing goes on. It warns the job will require, quote, hardworking, responsible, trustworthy duo that have great people skills and initiative. It's off the coast of Ireland. So, Heidi,
I think that sounds like heaven.
get our resumes ready. Can we do our
Yeah.
radio show from there?
I'm sure we could.
Yeah, we'll see. Talk to you suckers later. All right, weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com, the safest countries for travelers. If I say a safe country, what is the first country that comes to mind for you?
Switzerland.
All right. Well, let's see if they made the list. I've got the top 15 safest countries for 2024. This is from Berkshire Hathaway Travel Protection, rather. It's an insurance provider. 15 is Brazil, 14 Spain, 13 France, 12 Japan, 11 New Zealand, 10 Australia. Now we get into the top 10. We've got Iceland is 9, Denmark 8, Portugal 7, United Kingdom 6, Netherlands 5, Ireland 4, Norway 3. What one did you say?
Switzerland.
That's number 2, and number 1 is Canada. So those are the safest countries for travelers. United States is not on the list, but I wonder if it's because it was based in the United States, and if you're in the United States, you're not traveling to the United States. I wonder if that's why. Because it was conducted by Berkshire Hathaway Travel Protection. So I'm not really sure, but I'm just telling you that's why I think it's not there. I could be wrong. Safest country for travelers. It's the list in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today comes from Jim Carrey. He's a funny, funny man.
He is.
And his quote is, "Behind every great man is a woman rolling her eyes."
That was from Bruce Almighty.
Oh, was it really?
Yep.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. So then wasn't it really Bruce that said that?
It really was, yes.
And I really wish he would have been in the sequel to that. They did Evan Almighty, which was really good as well.
Yeah.
But he didn't, at the time, he wouldn't do sequels for some reason. Quote of the day.
I don't blame him.
Comes
They're
your
usually
way.
not awesome.
Oh, you never know. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. A dead man comes alive. Yeah, that's the story from India. Dead man comes alive after an ambulance hits a pothole. So, what an amazing story. No, this happened.
Crazy.
Yeah. In India, unlikely savior for an 80-year-old man. He was declared dead by doctors on his way.
Wow.
On his way home for his last rites. The ambulance hit a giant pothole, and the guy came alive. Wow. His grandson noticed some movement from his lifeless body when they hit this pothole. And at first he was thinking it was just, because the body was jostled from the pothole. But that's when he alerted the ambulance crew. Swiftly changing course, the ambulance rushed to the hospital rather than taking him where they were taking him. And contrary to the earlier declaration of death, doctors at the new facility confirmed that, no, he's alive and he's breathing.
That is amazing. The
grandson shared this surreal sequence of events online and revealed prior to the ambulance journey, he had been on a ventilator for 4 days. Doctors declared him dead after his heart apparently stopped. Family was informed, and preparations for last rites were in full swing. While he was being transported, the ambulance hits a pothole.
How crazy is
and
that?
Jostles this guy around a little bit, and then he was fine. So when I say he was fine, he still had some issues to deal with, but he was alive. Which, I don't know if you know this, but, severely ill is far better than dead.
Wow,
so
that is just the craziest thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is just absolutely crazy. Heidi had a relative that was in a coma, and they unplugged, and she was done. And then she woke up and said, "Can I have a sandwich?"
Yeah.
I'm like, holy cow, that's just, again, the most amazing things can absolutely positively happen. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to The John and Heidi Show.